The South African Weather Service has issued a level 2 warnings of severe thunderstorms for KwaZulu-Natal. The Weather Service says the inclement weather will lead to isolated showers and thunderstorms, with some of the storms becoming severe over the western part of KwaZulu-Natal, accompanied by heavy downpours and strong damaging winds. They warn of strong winds and hail that could lead to damage to property, vehicles and infrastructure. For more on this, we're now joined via our telephone line by Nonala Ndlovu, who is the KZN COGTA spokesperson. Nonala, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on the late edition on SABC News. Perhaps, with this weather warning from the South African Weather Service, what are the preparations underway at the moment to ensure the safety of people in KwaZulu-Natal?
Good evening to you and good evening to the viewers, and thank you for having us. Well, what we have done as the department, after the issuance of the warning from the South African Weather Service, we've activated, in fact, the disaster management teams are permanently on standby during this season, because we know that this is a common phenomenon. Almost on a daily basis, we get downpours, we get thunderstorms in some areas, and different types of inclement weather. So the disaster management teams are on high alert. They are ready to rescue if there's any community member or anyone that is in distress. They are ready to respond, and even the community leaders, the councillors and the traditional leaders are on high alert, because they are the first point of call for the communities. If there is anything that is untoward, they are the first people that get called, and they know who to contact in terms of the disaster management teams that are working in the different areas.
And which days can we expect, these heavy downpours to start? Is it clear from the Weather Service exactly when it will start? And we are told that it will affect the western parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Which areas will be severely affected?
The warning that we got today was for today, and obviously until maybe early hours of tomorrow morning. And according to the information that's at our disposal now, the areas that will be affected are parts of Amajuba district, parts of Utsugela, parts of Herigwala, parts of Ndlovu, and parts of Umzinyathi. So the different areas in those districts will be affected. We don't want to be very specific and say this particular area, because we know this is a natural phenomena, and it may spread. So it's better for everyone in those districts to be on high alert, so that if anything should happen, they are ready to go for safety.
And this is something that is not new to KwaZulu-Natal. I mean, over the past few years, you have really experienced quite damaging thunderstorms in your province. One would ask, what have you learned over the past couple of years when it comes to dealing, with such severe weather patterns?
I think the greatest lesson that we have learned is to take seriously any kind of warning that is issued, because what makes the impact even bigger is when these rainfalls they happen and you're not ready for anything, and then you're scrambling. In the middle of the event, in the middle of the crisis, you are scrambling. But if you already on high alert and you know that as soon as the rain starts, this is what we're doing. It's easier to save lives. It's easier to even save property, because now communities, they know that when these alerts are issued, they know that they must watch, especially those who are living in low-lying areas. They know that they must watch the rivers, and if the rivers are filling up fast, they have to move to safer ground. Now we've learned you can't cross bridges if there's water running over the bridge. We've learned the hard way that no matter if the water looks very shallow, there's no guarantee that the water will not get stronger, the current won't get stronger, and you can be swept away. So it's a matter of just being on high alert for our communities, and it's a matter of being able to go to safety while there's still time, and not waiting until you are stuck and you can't move anymore before you can move for safety.
And on that note, I mean, it is the festive season and it's the peak season for tourism in KwaZulu-Natal. What does this mean for those who will be traveling via road to their holiday destinations?
It simply means that when you're on the road, you must be on your full senses. This is even when the weather is normal. People must not drink and drive. People must adhere to the speed limits, and people must adhere to the following distances. Because even if it rains very hard, if you have kept your following distance, you're able to brake and not cause an accident. And if you run into a puddle of water, you're able to control your vehicle. So it's a matter of people adhering to the rules of the road, and for people to remain very cautious at all times when they're on the road. And we cannot overstress that people should not drink and drive, so that their senses will be fully alert when they're on the road.
And before we wrap up, Nonala, one would ask for the residents living in the western parts of KwaZulu-Natal, what is your advice to them during these heavy downpours?
The advice is limit movement. If you can stay at home, because some of the accidents are caused, accidents meaning people drowning and the associated accidents are caused because people are roaming the streets. They are going about their lives, having a good time and not minding the weather. So if you are indoors, you have already cut the chances by 50% of being impacted negatively by the weather. And if it so happens that anything is happening to your home, you are there and you are able to mitigate whatever is happening at that point.
Nonala, thank you so much for your time here on SABC News. That is Nonala Ndlovu. She is the KZN COGTA spokesperson, just giving us advice when it comes to that weather warning which has been issued by the South African Weather Service, of course, saying that it starts from tonight. And as you heard there, that advice, stay put, stay home, so that you can be able to mitigate that severe weather pattern expected to hit the western parts of KwaZulu-Natal.